Hold mode. Volume 80.
I got my timer set for 20 minutes. I'm running just a single 3S5000. No, it's so calm, so there's no extra weight, no ballast. And lines are straight. Controls working. Throttle about 40%. I didn't like the way that felt. You can tell if you're gonna have a good launch right as the chute inflates. And I was a little lazy with the, I like to call it a pop. You gotta literally bring it off the ground and pop it. All right. Try a little bit less throttle too. All clear. All right, I'm gonna do a quick pop and then rotate over my shoulder and just let it go. That's where having this little height advantage helps. It gives it some time to accelerate and start flying.
Time remaining 19 minutes.
If you don't have that little extra hill, you can just let it go with a little bit more power. But my first launch of today, this is my second flight. My first launch, it had too much power and it just torqued around itself. This is actually the second sale for this model here. I bought it new, and my first sale, by sale I mean the actual parachute, it had a horrible crease in the trailing edge. It was like part of it was permanently deformed. And it flew, but it flew absolutely terrible. It was just like flying with one of the brakes on all the time. So launching it was horrible. The flight characteristics were terrible. So Hobby King, they sent me a new one through the warranty, and it took about 2 months to get it. But this is the new one here. And as you can see, it's perfectly symmetrical across. A little bit of a breeze starting to pick up now. And I took my ballast off. I probably should have kept it on, but it's flying good. It's just a little wobbly. I think without ballast, I'm around 1.4 to 1.5 kilograms. The first flight I did today, I had my timer for 17 minutes. It landed at 3.9 volts per cell. And this time I put my timer up to 20, so a little bit more. It's weird that I'm trying to climb, and without that extra ballast weight, it doesn't climb as good. It's wobbly, because if you go high power, it starts pendulum, swinging underneath. Yeah, you can see a little breeze now. It's kind of crabbing into the wind.
Time remaining 16 minutes.
There's a bunch of coyotes and foxes all in this grassland here where they haven't built the houses yet. I'm sure they were looking up at this thing wondering what the heck. But coming at us for a high-speed pass. That's a joke. Into the wind. Breeze now. Maybe a touch and go.
Time remaining 15 minutes.
Come around, do another one. Oh, we got a breeze now. I feel it. Oop, swing and a miss. Yeah, it needs that weight. It really just is like getting handled by that little breeze. It's not even 3 to 5 miles an hour, I bet, and it's just like you can't power through it because you don't have the weight. That weight keeps the cart underneath of the chute, so you can actually give it the power. Without the weight, it just pitches up so much that your wing, it just starts getting behind the gondola. So garbage truck.
Time remaining 13 minutes.
See how far the chute's behind it? It's climbing, but it's just dragging literally an air brake, a parachute behind it, so it can't go. It can't really make lift and thrust to climb with. You just have to balance it out and slowly climb. I'm not even, that's like half throttle, climbing at half. Usually cruise level flight's like 25%, 30% throttle. Like right there is cruise. And that says I'm at 38%. Still climbing just a little bit. But these things are fun though. Once you figure out the launching
Time remaining
and
12 minutes.
figure out some of the basics of just steering it and flying it and knowing when to fly it, like this morning, it was dead calm. There's a slight breeze out of the southwest right now, and it's still under 5 miles an hour. Once you get about 5 to 8, any kind of gust, it'll upset it so much. Right now is a steady breeze to my back, maybe about 4 or 5 miles an hour. Try to be respectful of the people in the neighborhood. Not gonna fly over them or really get too close to them. Just because I'm enjoying it doesn't mean they will.
Time remaining 11 minutes.
I think I'm gonna land and then put my ballast on there. I'll show you guys what I use for ballast. It's just a 10 millimeter or 100 millimeter rod. It weighs about, oh, I don't even remember, 60 grams maybe. And I just put it right on my battery and put the little rubber band straps over it to secure it in place. And you don't think it would do a whole lot, but it does. It really does make it fly better. So that's it. That's the rod. It's just a big hunk of metal. They're on Amazon for about 10 bucks. So take my strap off, rubber bands, and I let it ride right to there, and that brings the weight up a little bit. That and that, and then a little probably overkill, but the light system I have on this, you see here, that's from Walmart. Alpina, that's the brand. It runs off the balance lead of the battery here. Just soldered it into the wire, feeds it whatever the battery voltage is off the balance lead, and it's extremely bright. Makes night flying a lot of fun. All right, now that we're ballasted up, always check your lines. They do get twisted, and sometimes there's like a little dab of like rubber cement on these knots. Sometimes they do get kind of connected together. So brake lines are good, leaders are good. All right, throttle holds on 42% throttle, and we're clear. Up, my side didn't inflate. There we go, it popped out. Oh, not really. It's flying, but it ain't flying very good. Brake line, there we go. Quick tug on the brakes, both of them at the same time, got that out. Look how much more stable it is in the wind now. It's just happy. That extra weight really makes a difference. Probably could use a little bit more. It really calms it down and gives you a little bit more control. And there is a limit. They say 2 kilograms, I think, the max you want it to weigh. But look how much better it climbs now. Into the wind. Right overhead. Sketch. And you can't go full throttle. It's not a full throttle climb if you're used to flying airplanes and stuff. It's literally, I'm literally have 50% throttle right there. I went a little higher initially and it was too much for it. Making my turn to the downwind, it does accelerate. Somebody's dog is barking at it. Sorry, little guy. That's good enough. That's high enough. Oh, that dog does not like it. Hopefully we don't stir any complaints up. I like flying out here. That dog says, "Get out of here. This is my airspace." Yeah, to descend, just pull some power out of it. If you're doing turns or maneuvering, like if you want to turn tight, you need throttle to get that gondola really swinging, because that's it's called load factor. That puts load on the airfoil, which keeps it rigid.
Time remaining 7
You want every one of those strings to stay tight. You don't really need it as much for like shallow turns, but if you do steep turns, it's all about centrifugal force, keeping your airfoil inflated. Typically your inboard tip will collapse, either partially or sometimes fully. But if you want to do like really tight turns, have some fun, kind of start slowly, get it turning, and once you're starting to turn, ramp into throttle. And when you exit it, let out of that throttle, because otherwise you're just going to roll back on your back.
Time remaining 6 minutes.
And that's the extent of my advanced flight I've done with it. I'm not doing loops, wing overs, rolls. I'm not there yet. Some turbulence kicking, maybe some thermals, get my gliders going here in a few. There's some wind over there, stern. Really bumpy over that. It does turn left better than right, just because your propeller's left turning tendencies. It's helping you out through that turn. Right turns are doable, but you'll see the carriage is kind of
Time remaining.
way off, like way out of coordination. I guess if you had considered it like that, like an airplane with the rudder, it's an uncoordinated turn when the right. I like to fly low and slow. Oh, we got some breeze blowing now. At nighttime, it's fun to fly with the lights on, because that canopy reflects a lot of light. So if you're low,
Time remaining 4
you can light the ground up beneath you and make for a pretty cool night light show. So that yeah, there's starting to be some lift out there. I feel like
Time remaining 3
some very light thermals are just starting to wake up here. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Look at that, nice little lift. Yeah, there's a thermal right there, because I have not increased my throttle. Slowly climbing in a thermal with the parachute. We'll see that outboard tip almost collapse a little bit. It's turbulent. All right, I'm at 18 minutes on this flight. There's a wind shift, complete wind shift. I got wind coming right at my face right now. It's good timing. Get this on the ground, get my gliders up, do some soaring. Still dead, nobody behind me. Try to touch and go. It does glide relatively well. I mean, if you're out of throttle, it is coming down. I got a tailwind. I like to do a challenge where I'll take it up really high. Let me do it here. Let me climb. My last 2 minutes, I'll climb. Try to get as high as you can and then cut the throttle and try to do a spot landing. I'm gonna go step out there into that turnaround. I'm gonna make my approach from the field to this way. I'm gonna try to get it right here in front of my feet. I do have a little bit of a breeze now, so I'm gonna try to get it right overhead, cut the throttle, and try to land it right in here. And if I have to use throttle to get it here, I will. I'm not gonna make a go land it out there with the coyotes. All right, almost overhead, and there's idle. Got manned aircraft, he's way high. He's going into Addison. Power is out, making my first 360. Probably only gonna do one 360. I don't think I can. That guy's got his gear down. He must be burning fuel off. All right, it looks like I'm really high right there, but I'm not. I'm telling you, this thing comes down. That's a Citation jet. He's got his gear out. I'm gonna turn my final there. And if you want to know if your approach is pointing right at you, it's relatively not moving as you're looking at it. Like into the horizon, it's not moving. I'm actually worried it might be coming up a little short. Yep. Little, oh, little goose of throttle to get it here. Of course, I hit the one curb where it screws it up. But there we go. And if you land and you got a big spaghetti mess like this, it's not that bad. It, you know, just kind of undo them, clear it up from everything. Just pick it straight up, and you can kind of easily unravel it. Sometimes you'll see that these are twisted, and sometimes you just have to send the cart or the gondola through it this way, or the other way. But that's it right there. It fell over itself, but as you can see, it popped right back open good. So let me see, that was exactly 20 minutes of throttle on this battery 3S 3000 5000. Let's see what we're at on a capacity here. I am 3.8 across, 43%. That's for a 20-minute flight. So all right, y'all, appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, we'll do it again. Take care.